my friend, and greetings from the Holmes Junior High football field as Cedar Falls Community Television is excited to provide you with Cedar Falls athletics. It's 8th grade football action as the Holmes Tigers host the Peet Tigers. Mark Simpson with you here on Cedar Falls Community Television. We always like to spotlight the younger people in athletics. We're excited to be here on a beautiful day for 8th grade football and an important game here in the Metro as we look at the 8th grade Metro standings heading into this final game of the regular season. Peet with a chance to run the table and finish 6-0. Meanwhile, for Holmes, with a victory today, they could tie with Peet for first place. Recapping what's taken place this season for these two teams, and you look at the records, the only loss for Holmes came at Waverly Shellrock in a hard-fought ball game. Meanwhile, Peet has cruised past everybody, but just got enough in their last game to defeat Waverly Shellrock and remain undefeated on the season. Holmes should be well prepared for this game. They are coming off a forfeit. So we'll have the opening kickoff coming up here in just a bit. It's Holmes versus Peet in 8th grade football. This is Junior High Athletics on Cedar Falls Community Television.
Meet Mike.
Hello.
Mike's the Iron Chef of his house. But instead of seasoning tonight's meal, Mike's getting peppered with demands from his family about their internet connection. Thankfully for Mike, this recipe calls for a dash of support. With CFU Wi-Fi, our highly trained technician will install a new Wi-Fi system and provide Mike's family with tech support 24/7. Now, Mike can focus on tonight's meal without all the extra ingredients. CFU Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi made simple.
And we're ready for the opening kickoff. Peet in the black uniforms with a short kick. It's heading towards the sidelines, but takes a good roll, and it looks like Peet recovered. Well, the Holmes players thought that ball was going to bounce out of play, and alertly running down the field and staying in it, looked like Josh Grady, number 22, recovered the football. So Peet will be on offense to begin this ball game. Quarterback for Peet will be Jaden Kimbrough. His fullback is Dennis Selimonovich. And Josh Grady, who recovered that fumble, will be the running back. Wide receiver is Gavin Jewell. Tight end is Erickson. And Grady kicks the ball outside around the right end and is angled out of play inside the 25-yard line. See where the officials spot the ball. Going to put it at the 29-yard line. Gain of 8 for Josh Grady. Excellent running back for Peet. Split wide to the left. For Peet will be Gavin Jewell. Strong side to the left. They'll go to the right, and it's Selimonovich, the fullback, getting the carry. Not enough for the first down as he has stood up. And a nice tackle by Holmes. And leading the way for Holmes was Trey Ryder.
Assisted by number 50, Hayden Bishop.
And also Hayden Bishop in on the tackle.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
Trey Ryder, he's number 99, and he just stands out as a very tall, athletic young man on that left side of the line of scrimmage. No gain on the run by Selimonovich. 3rd down and 2 coming up. Peet recovering the opening kickoff. Kenkel, the center, grabs the football. Kimbrough working out of the shotgun. About 3 steps back. In motion is Selimonovich. They run a reverse to Grady. Grady trying to get wide, and he has brought down excellent open field tackle. Kason Curran did not get fooled by the movement and was able to take down Grady to be 4th down, maybe a yard and a half now. Little gain on that play by Josh Grady. So it's a 4th down. And Peet trying to take advantage of recovering that opening kickoff. The ball again looked like it was going to maybe bounce out of bounds. It's by the sidelines, but took a funny roll and Josh Grady recovered it. So out of the eye. Split wide to the right for Peet is the Zolan Terry. They try to run left, and it's going to be awfully close. Depends where the officials spot it. Josh Grady's going to be stopped short.
Tackle made by number 2.
And coming up with the
Hermanson.
tackle is Tyler Hermanson
Again,
for
no gain on
Holmes.
play. Ball will go over on downs. 1st and 10 Holmes.
So a missed opportunity for Peet. They recovered the
Ball
opening
spotted at their
kickoff,
own 28
grabbed
yard
8
line.
yards on 1st down, but then the Holmes defense really stiffens up. And it's 1st and 10. Here comes Holmes. Their quarterback, Jaden Euban. Euban started the year, then got hurt. Now back starting here in this final game of the season. And running the football up the middle. Ball came loose right at the end as Ian Footman carrying the football. Lost it on the way down, but able to recover it.
Number 0, Ian Footman
Gain
on
of
the carry.
4 yards on the play. And about 3 yards.
Tackle
2nd down
made
and
by number
7.
25.
5:43 to go here.
Landon
Scoreless first quarter.
Gain of 3.
This is
2nd
8th
and
grade
7.
football here on Cedar Falls Community Television. Jaden Euban under center. They run out of the eye. Receivers to either side. Pitch to the left. Grabbing the high lateral is Footman, turning the corner, picks up the 1st down, still on his feet near midfield, and into Peet territory as he's down around the 47-yard line. An excellent
Tackle
run
made
by
number
Ian Footman.
14, Camonte Humphrey.
They're going to put the ball at the 46-yard
1st and 10
line.
Holmes.
Making the tackle was
Spotted at the
Kimante
Peet
Humphrey
47-yard
for Peet.
line.
Almost a touchdown saving tackle. So Ian Footman, a couple carries, and now here comes Holmes. Trying to hand Peet their first loss of the year. That big offensive line for Peet. They'll go with the 2nd man through. Footman finding running room. Dives forward.
Footman on a
And
carry.
good gain of about 5 yards on the play. They unpile the bodies, and coming up with the tackle for
Tackle
Peet
made
was
by
Ben
number 7,
Kenkel.
Ben Kenkel. Gain of 5 on the play.
2nd down
2nd and 5.
5 on a sun-splashed afternoon here for 8th grade football. Split wide to the left for Holmes. Jack Carter. They'll have Ryder, and I believe that's Remmert, split wide to the right. Back to pass. Good protection. Pass to the right sidelines and overthrows the
Pass
intended
for
receiver,
number
tight
99,
end
Trey
Ryder.
falls incomplete.
Trey
At
Ryder
3rd and 5.
was the intended target, but the pass overthrown. And now it's a 3rd down and 5 coming up. So getting the start is Jaden Euban. They've had injuries at this position this year. Jaden got hurt and then his backup Leighton Wolf broke his thumb. So Jaden is now just healthy and back as a starter. 3rd down and 5. They'll keep the ball on the ground and nowhere to go for Footman as he is.
Number 25.
Well, correction, that's Kason Curran. Curran getting his first carry. It's 20, not 00. And a short
On the
gain,
carry.
maybe a
Tackle made by
yard,
number
4th
13,
down and
Dennis
4.
Almonovic.
The ball spotted at the 41-yard line
Gain
of
of 1 on the
Peet.
play brings up 4th and 4.
No score, 3:55 to go here in the first quarter. First possession of the game for Holmes. They had a long run by Ian Footman to get into Peet territory. Strong side to the right. Again, they work out of the I formation under center. Euban, he bobbles the ball! And on 4th down, all he can do is
Fumble on the play.
fall on it. And taking over on
Ball covered by
downs is
number
Peet.
18, Jaden Euban.
So you might see that
Ball
with
goes
Euban
over
just
down.
returning to play after missing several games due to an injury. And it just seemed to be miscommunication. He lost the handle of the football.
Ball
Wisely
spotted at
just
their
fell on it.
46-yard line.
But they lose the ball on downs, and here comes Peet. Peet, coached by John Yoakum. Jim Mollers, the head coach for Holmes. Both coaches have been at their respective schools for a long time. Jaden Kimbrough works out of the shotgun. They'll put Selimonovic in motion. Back to pass. Kimbrough, cool in the pocket. He heaves it down the middle of the field, and it's incomplete.
Pass
Penalty
intended for number
flag is
22,
down where
Josh
the
Grady
quarterback
falls
released the
incomplete.
football.
2nd and 10.
The intended receiver that time was
Flag on the play.
Josh Grady. And the referee, it's usually where you see a holding penalty. It is a hold against Peet.
Signaled against Peet.
Now Peet again coming in undefeated, 5-0. Trying to win that mythical Metro Championship with the victory today. Their head coach, John Yoakum. He's been at the 8th grade program at Peet for 11 years, 6 as the head coach. This is his 17th year teaching and coaching. He's been coaching football for 16 years. John, a young-looking guy, would never guess he's been around that long. 3:33 to go here in the first quarter. Play action, rolling to his right is Jaden Kimbrough. Throws it, ball tipped in the air, and it goes incomplete. Ball pass broken up. It's Will Remmert getting his hand on it. Well, Peet, let's give credit to that offensive line right now. Their tight end is Erickson. The tackles are Burkhart and Backstrom. The guards of Humphrey and Yoakum. Center is Kenkel. The other tight end is Cunningham. We go with a 2 tight end set. Kimbrough will be under center. They'll run up the middle. That's good tackle. And it's looks like it's gonna be a defensive game as linebacker Kason Curran brings down Grady. No gain on the play. And that should be a 3rd down and 10 coming up.
Brings up 3rd and 20.
3rd and 20, correction, because of that penalty, the 10-yard penalty. 3:02 shows on the clock here at Holmes Junior High football field. They'll have Grady split wide to the left. Zolan Terry split wide to the right. Kimbrough gets the snap. Pocket closing. He's going to try to run with it. Middle of the field and picks up 9 yards. Curran with another tackle. Also helping out for Holmes was Tyler Hermanson.
Number 2, Tyler Hermanson.
4th down and 11. So the ball on their side of the field at the 44. Will they? Yeah, appears they're going to go into a punting formation. Grady is the punter. They didn't have to punt until last week against Waverly Shell Rock for the first time and executed the special teams well. Oh, penalty flag is down. It looks like they may have roughed the punter. The ball will be down at the 16-yard line. And it looks like a roughing the punter, but let's see the severity of it and the penalty. It's a 5-yard penalty.
Roughing the kicker, signal against Holmes. That'll be an automatic 1st down.
And they get the 5-yard penalty and the automatic 1st down. Oh, what happened here? Oh, they did. Wow. Oh, they declined it. All right. They declined the penalty.
Penalties declined.
So John Yoakum, the head coach for Peet, said, hey, we like that punt. And the ball spotted at the 21-yard line. Here comes Holmes, 2nd time on offense. Scoreless, 1st quarter, 2:05 shows on the clock. Holmes will have Will Remmert, and I believe that's Jack Carter on the left side of the line. Split wide, they'll go to Footman. Footman turning the left end, follows several blockers. And good yardage on 1st down. He picked up 4 or 5 yards. Head coach for Holmes, Jim Moeller. He's been the head 8th grade coach for 12 years. He's also been assistant for 4 years. So 16 years total coaching at Holmes in 8th grade football. Previous to Holmes, he was the varsity head coach at Dunkerton for 3 years and 7th grade football coach at Center Point Urbana for 4 years. Not done reading his resume. It's very impressive. Quick hitter up the middle, fullback though. Tripped up after just a gain of a couple. That's Kason Curran getting the handoff. Jim Moeller, this is his 23rd year of coaching football. He also is the head 8th grade girls basketball coach and head 7th grade boys basketball coach at Holmes. So needless to say, he's very, very busy. Remmert split wide to the right, Carter to the left. It's a third down and a makeable 2.5 yards. They power it to the right side. And again, they go the quick hitter with the fullback, and Curran is pulled down
Number
after
20,
a gain of a
Jason
yard.
Curran on the carry.
And it looks like, if I'm reading the number right, Carter Hovey, number 8, making the
That is
tackle for
number-
Peet.
Holmes
Oh, it's
first
enough for
down.
the first down. That is enough. So Curran just got the needed yardage. First and 10.
Ball spotted at the Holmes
Just 27 seconds to
34-yard
go
line.
here in a scoreless first quarter. Both teams have had the football twice. This is the second time Holmes touching the football. Shotgun now for Jaden Hubert. High snap, backs up 2 steps, pocket closing to his left. He throws and
Given
overthrows
pass intended for
the
number
intended
53,
receiver.
Pete Crozier falls incomplete.
Goes incomplete.
Second and 10.
Trying to find Crozier, it looks like, the intended receiver. Pete Crozier. Second down and 10. It stops the clock. 11.4 seconds remaining. This might be the final play of quarter number 1. Ubin this time under center. Look at that traditional pro set offense. Play action. He's under pressure. Dumps it out into the flat, but reading that one beautifully is Grady as he takes down the Holmes receiver who made the catch, Tyler Hermanson, immediately.
Tackle made by number 22, Josh
And
Grady.
no gain on the play, and that will end the first quarter. It's a defensive battle between Peet and Holmes in this 8th grade football matchup. We'll be back with quarter number 2 right after this on Cedar Falls Community Television. Quarter number 2 underway here, and Holmes has the football facing a 3rd down and 9. See, the ball is at the 40 or about 30-yard line. Back to pass. Or excuse me, they're going to run the football.
Number 3, Will Remmert. on the
Will
carry.
Remmert trying to get her on the left
Tackle
end,
made
and
by
he
number
is
8, Gavin
tackled by a
Burkhart.
host of Peet players. Gavin Burkhart
Loss of the play,
coming up with a
brings up 4th and
tackle.
12.
4th down, we'll call about 13 with 7:38 and running here in the first half.
20 will be number 99.
The
Trey
yard
Ryder.
markers on the sidelines got kicked down, so time's a little bit difficult to tell where we are at on the field, but it looks like right now they're at the 30-yard line. So Trey Ryder punting. Watching him before the game, had a couple good kicks. End over end should be returned. And it's Selmanovich at the 43, 45, 50, all the way to the 44-yard line of Holmes.
Number 13, Dennis Selmanovich on the carry.
No flags down, and
Tackle
the
made by
first
number
and
3,
10
Will
for
Remmert.
Pete. So in the field position battle, Holmes has enjoyed, or Pete has enjoyed the better here over their opponent, Holmes. Coming into this game, Pete 5-0, Holmes 4-1. I didn't.
Play.
I said there was no flag on the play, but there was a flag on the play, and they're marking off yardage against Pete. So some site an illegal block.
Signal against Pete.
They'll put the ball back at the Pete 45-yard line.
First and 10, Pete. Ball spotted at their own 45.
7:05 remaining. First half, we played 8-minute quarters here at the 8th grade football level. So here comes Jaden Kimbrough and the Pete offense. Quick pitch to the right. Running room for Grady. Cuts inside. Penalty flag is down. Grady picks up the first down. But it looks like it's coming back on a
Grady on the
hold.
carry.
Grady picking up 14
There's
yards.
a flag on the play.
Flag back at the 43-yard line of Pete. And that's going to be a holding penalty against
Holding
Pete.
signaled against
Their
Pete.
black uniforms with the white pants, white helmets. Holmes, of course, in the white jerseys, the red numerals, the red pants. Big crowd here to watch this one, this annual rival game between these two 8th grade teams. So another penalty against Pete. So they're marking off the yardage now. And It's going to be at the 35-yard line. So they have to get
First and
20 yards. Have to get to the 45-yard line of Holmes for a first down. And yardage has been tough so far. Grady around the end follows his blockers. Steps out of bounds. Good gain on first down by Brody Grady as he
knocked out of bounds by
Josh Grady,
51,
correction. Josh
Camden
Grady
Rowe.
as he picks up around 8 yards on the play. See what the referee spots it. A second down and 12.
Brings up second and 12. Ball spotted at the 44-yard line.
Peet coming off a thrilling win over Waverly Shell Rock in their last game. They used the old Philly special to defeat Waverly Shell Rock 28-22 and a touchdown in the closing moments of that game, and then had to hold back the Go Hawks at the conclusion of that game for the thrilling win. It's been their closest game so far. Pitch to the right, Grady looking for a block, now accelerates, picks up the first down, he's at the 40, the 30, 25, pushed out of bounds near the 20-yard line. But Grady appears to be shaken up after he went down.
Out of bounds by number 30, Asher Meyer.
So Grady had that long run, but he's still lying on his back, out of bounds, and he's being looked at by some of the coaching staff for Peet. So Grady, terrific run, but unfortunately it looks like he's shaken up. So first and 10, the deepest penetration of the ball game for Peet.
Hold up, Tiger!
Split wide to the right for Peet will be Gavin Jewell. And running the football is Selimonovich, and he is tripped up right at the line of scrimmage. Good tackle by Holmes, and that's going to be made by Tyler Hermanson, who's been active here in the first half.
Selimonovich on the carry. Tackle made by number 20, Kason Curran.
Second down and
Gain of
11.
play, second and 10.
Stretch him in neck. They're still looking at the Josh Grady, who continues just lying his back. And hope that it's nothing serious. Grady, a key component for this Peet team. Jewell is split wide to the right. Back to pass, Kimbrough looking for Jewell. He's open. Caught, touchdown! It's caught by Jewell. 21 yards it covers. And Peet takes a 6-0 lead at the 5:43 mark here in the second quarter. Well, it was an excellent pass, and Jewell with great concentration makes the grab, leaping up, hands above his head, and it's now a 6-0 lead. Try for the two-point conversion. Quick snap, Kimbrough rolls right, quick pass into the end zone, and there he is again. It's Jewell making the grab, and it's a two-point conversion, and it's an 8-0 lead.
Jewell good for the two-point conversion.
So Gavin Jewell hauling in the touchdown of 21 yards and the two-point conversion. So without their leading ground gainer, Josh Grady, shaken up after a long run, Peet decides to go through the air, and it pays off. And they grab an 8-0 lead. So Kimbrough to Jewell, that connection works. And Peet takes an 8-0 lead. Again, 5:43 to go here in a warm, sunny afternoon here at Holmes Junior High football field. Peet trying to cap off an undefeated season. Holmes only one loss on the year. That was to Waverly Shell Rock, 15-6. So now the pressure on Holmes. We'll see how they are able to respond. Good news, Josh Grady is standing now. He's still being looked at. He has his hands on his hips, and after lying on his back for a long time,
number 11,
seems to be okay. Watching him, he's trying to jog it off, running back and forth. So Came down hard after he got pushed after he had that long run. We're back to action. A little pooch kick taken at the 3 by Will Remmert. Remmert, a short return.
Number 3, Will
Just across the
Remmert on the return.
35-yard line. And tackle made by Roman Tiber.
Roman Tabor. First and 10, Holmes.
Holmes with the football. Again, Holmes. Jaden
Ball spotted at
Euban
their
is the
37-yard
quarterback.
line.
He was hurt earlier in the year. Leighton Wolf then took over, and Wolf broke his thumb. He's not even suited up today. And Euban trying to direct this Holmes offense. First and 10. Pitch to the right. This is Fuchman. Fuchman caught at the line of scrimmage, cannot get any
Number 0,
momentum.
Ian Fuchman on the carry.
And with the tackle for Peet will be
Tackle made by
Zolan
number
Terry.
84,
Terry got good
Zolan
penetration.
Terry.
Second down and 9. 5-man front for Peet. 3 linebackers, 3 defensive backs. Holmes with that big offensive line breaks from the huddle. Second down and 8. Clock running. 4:59 to go in the first half. 8-0. Peet with the lead. Off right tackle. Footman stood up and he goes down. Couple of Peet players in on that tackle. Gavin Burkhardt along with Zolan Terry. Third down and 7. A gain of just 1 yard. Coming in from the sideline, Sam Phillips with the play for Holmes. Needing to pick up 7 yards. Ball spotted at the 40-yard line of Holmes. Sun to their back. In motion is Will Remmert. Quick pitch to the right. And gaining a little bit of momentum, stretching out close to the first down marker was the ball carrier. And running the football at time was Kason Curran.
Kason Curran on the carry.
It's almost kind of like a lateral in the passing formation, but Curran, they're going to say his knees touched. So he's trying to stretch it out there. He's a yard short, 4th down and 1. 3:50 to go here. No hesitation. Holmes is going for it here in this 8th grade football game. I formation. Needing a yard. Everybody for Peet at the line of scrimmage. They give it to Curran. Curran spins, and I think he's going to be just short. Depends where the official spotted, but I thought he's
Number 20,
held
Kason
up
Curran on the carry.
right at the line of scrimmage. And where the referee spotted the football, it's no
Tackle made by
gain.
Number 22,
And
Josh
Peet
Grady.
will take over on downs.
just short of the first down.
So
Ball
on
will go
4th
over
down
on
and
downs.
1, Holmes is stuffed.
First and 10,
And Peet has the football with 3:31 to go here in the first half. And on top, 8-0. So Holmes, that big physical team, trying to slow down Peet. Kimbrough back to pass, a lot of time, rolling to his right, still with the football, throws it out to the near sidelines, nobody there, incomplete. Kimbrough showing that he can do a little
Kimbrough's pass ball
improvising.
incomplete.
Didn't appear to panic, despite the fact he had 3 Holmes players breathing down his neck. 2nd and 10. So Josh Grady is back on the field for Peet. Notice that number 22 was shaken up on that touchdown drive by Peet last time they had the football. After that incomplete pass, 3:24 shows on the clock. 8-0. Peet with the lead. Quick pitch to the right. Here comes Grady. Grady, nowhere to go. He is taken down, and with the tackle will be made by Camden Rowe.
Tackle made by number 51, Camden Rowe.
That'll bring up a 3rd
No
down
gain on
and
the play,
10.
brings up 3rd and 10.
The biggest play of the game was the long run by Grady, and then the 21-yard touchdown pass from Jaden Kimbrough to Gavin Jewell. Those two connected on the 2-point conversion. It's 8-0. Peet with the lead. Kimbrough works out of the shotgun. Selimonovic play action to him. Kimbrough rolling to his left, airs it out, and incomplete. Well covered was the intended receiver. Kimbrough just throwing that ball away. That'll bring up now a 4th down and 10 with the ball spotted at the 45-yard line of Holmes. We'll see what happens here. 2:35 remaining here in the first half. It looks like Peet gonna go for it. Correction, now they're gonna punt. Josh Grady is the punter. Great athlete, be careful, the trick play. And he gets a line drive kick, should be returned. Right to the breadbasket. Catching at the belt is Remmer. Remmer up the field and is taken down at the 35. Zolan Terry makes the tackle. There's a penalty flag down right where he went. And Remmer, let's see what happened. Was there a face masking penalty? Remmer had his hand up, almost like a stiff arm, and he got it high on the defender, and it's going to be on Remmer, yes.
Personal foul.
Tough break for Holmes. Just can't get the continuity going right now offensively in this defensive battle. 2:21 to go. As right now, Peet leading 8-0. And of late, they have controlled this series. Seems like every year it comes down to Peet and Holmes to decide this Metro Championship. Holmes, quarterback, Euban looking right, throws it behind the line of scrimmage, making the catch, taking off, and there's Terry again with another stop. Zolan Terry is taking over this ball game right now.
Tackle made by number 84, Zolan Terry.
He was tackled inbounds, 2:04 remaining. Remmer with the catch.
The play, 2nd and 9.
So, Holmes offense being frustrated right now by that black-clad Peet D. Jaden Euban works out of the shotgun. Remmer is in motion. And they'll run the counterplay. Ball loose on the ground. It looks like it's going to be recovered by Peet. Oh, looks like Peet's Landon Backstrom with the recovery.
Ball covered by number 25.
Oh, they run the counterplay, and
Landon Backstrom.
running back never got possession of it.
1st and 10 Peet.
So that's the second turnover of the game by Holmes.
Spotted at the Holmes.
Ball spotted at the, let's call it the 18-yard line. 1:33 to go. All 3 timeouts remaining here for Peet, so they're in pretty good shape here. We'll have 2 receivers to either side. Holmes with that traditional 4-man defensive front. Quick pass, caught, making the catch is Jewell. And only short yardage that play. Only a yard on the play. Jack Carter makes the open field tackle for Holmes. 2nd down and 10.
No gain on the play, 2nd and 10.
Now time becoming a factor. 1:10 and ticking away here. 8-0. Peet with the lead. But trying to get big score here for the end of the first half and build some momentum. Meanwhile, for Holmes, if they can keep Peet out of the end zone, that would be a big victory for them after that turnover. Under center, Jaden Kimbrough. They run the counter play. Selimonovich only picks up a couple of yards. Looked like that was going to be a big play, but the hole was plugged up by Jaden Euban.
Tackle made by number 18, Jaden Euban.
Credit to the Holmes guys playing their positions.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
Not getting fooled by the ball deception. 3rd down and 9. Clock rolling. We're down to 23 seconds. And taking their time, and now before the timeout is taken, with 15.1 seconds by head coach John Yoakum. So let's see what play that Peet will do here. Let's take a break here. 15 seconds to go in the first half. We'll be back right after this on Cedar Falls Community Television. Big play coming here late in the first half with only 15.1 seconds to go. 8-0 lead for Peet, facing a 3rd down and 9 at the 18-yard line of Holmes. Jaden Kimbrough, signal caller for Peet. Looking right, now he looks left. He's going to keep the football. Makes a couple good moves, middle of the field, and then he's tackled down around the 10-yard line, close to the first down marker with 5.8 seconds remaining. Timeout taken by Peet. So they use their shifty quarterback, Jaden Kimbrough, on a run up the middle. And I believe that was kind of a deceptive play. If he could find a receiver, maybe throw the football. But for the most part, it looked like it was quarterback to spread the field, and he'll take off. So John Yoakum, the head coach for Peet, trying to come up with a play here. Just 5.8 seconds to go. But it's 1st and goal now. That was a first down run by the quarterback for Peet. Peet again leading 8-0 and trying to cap off a 6-0 season. Holmes 5 right now, coming in 4-1 on the year. And if they beat Peet, they'll tie for first. So Kimbrough throws the ball after the timeout. One-handed catch, and there's Jewell. Can he do it again? Yes. Give him 6.
22, Josh Grady.
Oh, it's Grady, not Jewell. 22. Grady with the catch. Josh Grady leaped up, almost a one-handed snag into the end zone. And with 1.6 seconds to go, Peet grabs a 14-0 lead. And now the try for the extra point. So Kimbrough has thrown a pair of touchdown passes. They'll spread the field again. They'll go Selimonovic up the middle, and the big running back plows in for the 2-point conversion. And it's 16-0.
That's your score. Peet 16, Holmes 0.
They'll do the kickoff, and that will be the final play of the first half. So that touchdown pass, I'm going to give that a 10-yarder to Josh Grady. As Grady able to pull that in. It was a beautiful catch as he grabbed his right hand. And I want to say, you got mossed as he brought that ball in for the score. So Kimbrough, a 21-yard pass to Gavin Jewell, a 10-yard pass to Josh Grady. And Peet converts on both 2-point conversions. That was set up, though, by that costly fumble by Holmes. 2 turnovers now in the ball game for Holmes, and that one really hurt. 1.6 seconds to go, and we're back here at Holmes Junior High football field. Only 1.6 seconds remaining. Peet kicking off after they scored their second touchdown of the game and now lead 16-0. So I'm sure it's just be kind of a pooch kick. Rolls on the ground. It's going to be bobbled and finally picked up by Holmes with the return. This is Curran, and Curran, short return of about 7 yards before he's tackled. And that will close out the first half. So Peet,
with your score,
impressive
Peet 16,
first half
0.
as they have built a 16-0 lead as we head into the locker room for halftime. 2 touchdown passes from quarterback Jaden Kimbrough to Gavin Jewell and Josh Grady, and they convert on both 2-point conversions, 16-0 at the break. Let's take a break as well. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of 8th grade football between Peet and Holmes. This is Tiger Football on Cedar Falls Community Television.
What's the easiest way to buy? The Witham way. That means stocking a wide selection of the area's top-selling pre-owned vehicles that fit any budget. From low-mileage cars to one-owner cars to local trades, we carry the vehicles you want. That's the Witham way. And check your mailbox for this month's specials or online at withamauto.com. Witham Auto Centers in Waterloo, Cedar Falls, and LaPorte City.
Everything we do is driven by you.
Meet Linda. Linda just bought a smart home hub and was ecstatic to see her grandkids on their weekly chats. However, this grandma spends most of her time troubleshooting across time zones. Fortunately for Linda, technical support is right down the road. With CFU Wi-Fi, our highly trained technician will install a new Wi-Fi system and connect all of her devices. Now, Linda can chat with her family and ask about their week instead of her password. CFU Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi made simple.
And welcome back to Cedar Falls Community Television's coverage of this 8th grade football game between Holmes and Peet. Mark Simpson with you. Big thanks going out to Denny Bowman and Mike Menon running cameras for today's game, and a warm one here. And Peet has built a 16-0 lead at the break. It was the passing game of Peet. Both touchdowns coming in the second quarter.
Kicking off for Holmes, number 78.
The 5:43 mark,
William
Jaden
Garcia.
Kimbrough finding Gavin Jewell on a 21-yard touchdown pass. Those two then connected on the two-point conversion. And then with just 1.6 seconds to go in the first half, it was Kimbrough finding Josh Grady on a 10-yard pass. Good special teams tackle by Curran to begin this second half as Kason Curran hustles down the field and gets the ball returner after a short gain. The ball will be spotted at the 33-yard line. Peet with the football. Their black uniforms with the white numerals, the red Peet above the numerals. White pants, white helmets. Jaden Kimbrough. Quarterback Josh Grady is the tailback. He'll get the handoff, second man through, and only picks up a yard. Coming up with the tackle for Holmes was Camden Rowe.
Josh Grady on the carry.
Second down and
Tackle
let's
made
call
by
it
number
7.
51, Camden Rowe.
Now check correction where they get the yard marker.
Gain of 2 on the play.
Second down and 8 coming up. Beautiful day for football as Peet will have lined up wide to the right. They're going to go with Zolan Terry up the middle. Big running room, but it pocket closes quickly, but still a good gain on the play by Dennis Selimonovich. Selimonovich
by number 16,
picks up about maybe 6 yards on the play, 6-7 yards, so it's a third down, about a yard to go here. So Peet with the ball at their own 43-yard line. 4-man front. Now they go to 5-man front here now for Peet or Holmes. Oh, and they go in the second count and they draw Holmes offsides. So
single against Holmes.
Penalty against Holmes, and that's a free first down for Peet on the 5-yard penalty. So they went on the second count and fooled Holmes as they jump offsides, trying to anticipate when that ball would be snapped. 6:26 to go here in the third quarter. John Yoakum is the head coach for Peet. His assistant coaches are Dan Scannell, the offensive and defensive line coach. Joe McKenna coaches the wide receivers and defensive backs. 1st and 10 now. The ball up to the 48-yard line. And around the end, Selimonovich. And he's unable to turn the corner as Will Remmert makes a good tackle. He'll throw Selimonovich for a yard loss. 2nd down and 11. Now facing Peet.
2nd and 11.
Peet's offensive line tackles of Burkhart and Backstrom, the guards of Humphrey and Yoakum, tight ends of Cunningham and Erickson. Quarterback Jaden Kimbrough, the wide receiver is Gavin Jewell. Solomonovich is the fullback, Josh Grady is the tailback. Here's Grady going on the left end, finds a little bit of a seam. He'll pick up the first down, stiff arms a tackle as he goes, carries the ball around the 36-yard line. Flag comes out at the end of the play. And let's see who the penalty is against.
Movement on the tackle.
And it's going to be a face masking against Holmes.
Face
So
mask penalty,
Holmes,
signaled
another
against
penalty on this drive. And that will tack on either, see how many yards? 5-yard penalty. All at the 31-yard line. Peet, opening drive to begin the second half. Second man through is Grady. Grady. A lot of white jerseys bring him down. Initial man with the stop for Holmes was Hayden Bishop. Oh, and a player is down again. And let's see, who is that? Grady. I can't tell from this angle. So, injured player on the field. Let's take a break. This is 8th grade football coverage on Cedar Falls Community Television. Welcome back after a lengthy delay as Josh Grady down on his back. He's walking off on his own power. Very encouraging. And he's going to be just sitting on the bench on the Peet sideline, shaken up after that run. It was a first down run. And there must have been some type of penalty tacked on to that run at the end of the play, because now the ball being spotted at the 16-yard line. So wow, it's a third penalty on this drive against Holmes.
16-yard line.
So Peet leading 16-0 here in this first drive to begin the second half. Maybe going for the knockout punch as they'll run the reverse. No, it's Kimbrough keeping it. I was trying to find the football. They faked the reverse. And Kimbrough, the quarterback, is brought down. Maybe about a yard on the play. Depends where the... And no gain. Second down and 10.
Assisted by number 2, Tyler Hermanson.
Ball stays at the 16-yard line. So Josh Grady shaken up for the second time in this game. Split wide to the right. Zolan Terry. Both touchdowns for Peet have been through the air so far. Rolling to his right, they throw it out. Oh, and it's dropped by Solomonovich. Pass low by his waist, and he just couldn't bring it in.
Ball's incomplete. Third and 10.
That'll bring up a third down and 10. So they're at the part of the field where it's been pretty worn down. You see the dirt on several large dirt areas on the Holmes football field. Third down, 10. The ball at the 16-yard line. Peet up 16-0. And they'll go with Tiber. Tiber getting the handoff, and quickly he is gobbled up.
Handoff to number 99.
Making the tackle, I believe that's Hayden Bishop again.
Tackle made by number 50, Hayden Bishop.
Hayden Bishop will active in that defensive front position. At Holmes defensive front, Trey Ryder, Camden Rowe, Hayden Bishop, and Hermanson. Fourth down now coming up, and 12. They have to get a first down at about the 6-yard line for Peet. John Yoakum, the head coach for Peet, likes those gadget plays. So if you're Holmes, you got to be careful about anything that comes out of that playbook for Peet. Kimbrough gets a snap, looking right. Now he's rolling to his right. He's going to run with the football, but he's going to be gang tackled, and it's Rowe bringing him down. Oh, Hayden Bishop, correction. Hayden Bishop with the tackle. And taking over on downs is Holmes. Huge defensive stand.
Over on downs to Holmes.
For Holmes. It's Coach Jim Moeller's team. Comes up with a big stop, and it's going to be 1st and 10.
1st and 10.
They'll take over deep in their own territory, but they keep Peet out of the end zone. Still have a chance here, 16-0, but just 2:47 to go here in the third. And rolling to his right, Euban completes the pass, and getting free is Curran. Curran down the far sidelines and carries a tackle all the way up to the 40-yard line. Biggest offensive play of the game for the Holmes Tigers, as they'll have the ball right at the 40-yard line. 2:37 shows on the clock. Caden Curran making the reception. Out of the shotgun for Euban. Running back to either side of him. Gets the handoff and gives it off to Curran, and Curran off the right side of the line of scrimmage.
Number 20,
rips off 11 yards, and it's another first down, and Holmes has something going. They're now at the Peet 49-yard line. It's been a Peet defense that has been tough all year.
1st and 10.
A little more urgency you can tell on that Holmes team as they line up with 2:02 to go here. Oh, and Curran loses the football, and it looks like it's going to be recovered by Holmes. Oh, Curran lost it, and Hayden Bishop alertly was able to grab that ball. They lose a couple yards, but Holmes still manages to hold on to the football. Turnover would have been disaster. 16-0, Peet with the lead. They're going to split Remmert along with Sam Phillips to the right. In motion is Hermanson. They'll keep it on the ground. Curran accelerates, and off the left side of the line of scrimmage, picks up about 5 yards on the play. Coming up with the tackle for Peet was Ben Kenkel. This is a good rivalry, but a competitive rivalry. Not really bad blood, as these guys will both be Cedar Falls Tigers next year. 3rd down. And let's call it about 8 yards. Well, a long 7. Let's go that way for Holmes. Only 39 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Euban under center. Hermanson in motion to the left, now shifts back to the right. They'll run that way, and tripped up right at the line of scrimmage is Chris Halber.
Number 15.
Halber gets the carry, and there's Kenkel again with the tackle. Ben Kenkel.
Tackle made by number 7, Ben Kenkel.
He's easy to pick out that long ponytail he has.
Brings up 4th and 8.
That might have been the last play of the third quarter. Final seconds tick off. 4th down coming up for Holmes. Huge play to begin the fourth quarter. And we'll be back with more here from the Holmes Junior High football field. This is 8th grade football coverage of the Tigers here on Cedar Falls Community Television. We begin the fourth quarter here on Cedar Falls Community Television of 8th grade football between Holmes and Peet. It's a critical 4th down and 8 facing Holmes. They bring in the punting unit. High snap. Ryder's going to throw it, and the ball is thrown behind the receiver and incomplete. They try the fake punt. Looking for Remmert. Jewell with the coverage defensively for Peet, and it's going to be Peet taking over at midfield with 7:56 to go in the game. And they have a 16-0 lead. Both touchdowns coming in the second quarter. The second touchdown was the backbreaker with just 1.6 seconds to go. As Jaden Kimbrough finding Josh Grady, who made a great one-handed grab. Under center, Kimbrough. And they'll keep her on the ground. Selimonovic.
Number 13, Dennis Selimonovic.
Down after a couple yards. He gets up a little gimpy.
Number 20, Kason Curran.
Selimonovic. He's been active.
Second and 8.
A lot of the guys have the white pants, and there's a gray out there. 7:30 to go in the game. Time becoming a factor here. Holmes needs the football. So their defense has to come up with a big stand. Meanwhile, for Peet, trying to cap off this undefeated season. We got a new quarterback in the ball game. It's Jacob Krantz.
Number 99.
They'll run the ball to the left. And carrying the football was Robin Tiber. Krantz running this series here for Peet. Good job by John Yoakum, the coach at Peet, trying to get a lot of kids into the game. Coming in with the play from the sidelines, Gavin Jewell. See a lot of the Peet players down almost at the end zone talking amongst themselves. Or is that some of the kids warming up for the next game? That's what perhaps. And they'll hand the ball on the ground, tripped up.
Number 99
is Tiber.
On the carry.
Got knocked down Hermanson, tripped him up by the ankles. And it's fourth down coming up, 4th and 7. Ball at midfield. Those Holmes defense has played well today, except they gave up that couple big plays. And that touchdown right before halftime, that was set up after Peet recovered a fumble. So it really put the Holmes defense in a tough position. Solon Terry split wide to the right. Selimonovic to the near side. Tiber is the back. And they'll punt. Oh, it's blocked. Holmes gets a hand on it. Ball loose on the ground.
Tyler Hermanson.
Here we go.
Now, Peet, the ball is recovered by Peet, but it did not go across the 10 yards. So Holmes will take over. Oh, they're saying the ball belongs to Peet. Oh, the ball was blocked and recovered by Peet. I thought that ball would still belong to Holmes because it didn't go the needed 10 yards. I saw one of the Holmes guys trying to pick it up, but they're going to count that as a fumble. So Peet will hold on to the football. Oh, it's a tough break for Holmes. 1st and 10, 5:32 to go in the ball game. So Peet and now 4 set of downs to work with here. Try to eat up valuable time off the clock. And Holmes gets the big play on special teams, but they can't get the football. Running up the middle, Selimonovic stood up and just falls down right at the line of scrimmage.
Number 13.
Tackle will be made by Camden Rowe. Hayden Bishop there as well. 2nd down and 10 coming up. Under 5 minutes to go. Peet trying to finish an undefeated season and win the Metro Championship. Jacob Krantz is the quarterback. Jaden Kimbrough started the game at QB. They'll go I formation. And they'll give it to the second back. And Holmes expecting the running game. And they quickly converge. And brought down is Roman Tiber. So timeout taken on the field. And it looks like Holmes takes it
by number 2, Tyler Hermanson,
with 4:20 remaining. Peet on top, 16-0. Big 3rd down and 13 coming up here for Peet. Now Peet, they have not lost a Metro game for 11 years if they can pull this one off. So this is an important game for them. Kids know the expectations and trying to meet the standard they have set at Peet over the years. And timeout on the field. Holmes taking the back out on after a timeout taken by their head coach, Jim Moeller. Coach Moeller, again, head 8th grade coach for 12 years, 4 years as an assistant. .420 shows on the clock here. Shadows forming on the field as the kids line up. 3rd down, 13. Jacob Krantz, the quarterback, rolling to his left, and he is caught in the backfield. He goes down, and a flag goes down.
22.
Back at the Peet 40.
Number 23 on the carry, Jacob Krantz.
Let's see what the
Tackle
penalties
made by number 20,
on.
Jason Curran. There is a
Holding
flag.
against Peet.
Holding
It's
taken
declined.
against Peet.
4th down coming up.
Penalty is declined.
4 minutes, 16 seconds. Clock will move once they get this ball set.
Brings up 4th and 16.
Last time, Holmes got the block punt, but apparently trying to return it. They're going to say that Holmes fumbled it and Peet recovered. Now we're under 4 minutes to go in the game. Jaden Kimbrough back out onto the field. And he's going to be under center. They go with the I formation. Does not look like a punting play. They're going to keep the ball to Tiber. And Tiber only picks up a yard. Getting the ball right to midfield. 3:38 to go. Holmes.
Tackle made by number
Remember, they're down by 2 scores. So
Assisted by
they
number
need 2
50,
touchdowns
Hayden Bishop.
and 2-point conversions just to tie the game.
Ball goes over on down.
Jaden Euban,
1st and 10.
quarterback
Holmes.
for Holmes,
Ball spotted at midfield.
trying to come up with some type of miracle here. Holmes a little bit late getting the right personnel out onto the field. Strong side to the right. Out of the I formation. Euban. Back to pass. Rolls to his right. Now he's going to put the ball underneath his arm and head up the field. And gets pushed out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Terry with the tackle for
Tackle made
Peet.
by number 84, Golan Terry.
Clock is stopped as they'll set things up here. 3:31 shows on the clock. 16-0. Peet trying to cap off an unbeaten season. Holmes desperately trying to get in the end zone here, make things more competitive. Remmert and Carter will be the wideouts for Holmes. The run to the right. And Curran keeping the legs moving, and he pushes the pile, refusing to go down. Look at this run by Curran. That is all-out
Number
effort by
20.
Caden Curran as he takes the ball to the 30. And timeout taken by Holmes. 3:21 to go in the ball game. We'll take a break. This is Tiger Football on Cedar Falls Community Television. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of 8th grade football on Cedar Falls Community Television. It's a 2nd down and 2 coming up for Holmes. Late in the ball game, just 3:21 remaining. The ball at the 30-yard line of Peet. Holmes down 16-0. Rolling right, Euban under pressure, and he'll just head out of bounds as he rolls out to his right. That'll stop the clock. That only took up 5 seconds. 3 minutes, 16 seconds to go. No gain on the play. But now, third down coming up here for Holmes. Peet unbeaten, 5-0. Holmes coming in 4-1. Holmes only lost going to Waverly Shell Rock. That was a game that Peet won. A touchdown in the final moments in their last ball game. Euban looking right. Shows a pass too low into the feet of the intended receiver, Will Remmert, incomplete. Now it's 4th down coming up. So this could be the last play of the year for Holmes offensively. I believe Holmes may have 1 timeout remaining. But they need a critical 4 yards here at this point in the game. They're down 16-0. Not going to get many opportunities to touch that football. Euban, this time under center. Oh, and they fumbled the snap, and all he can do is pounce on it. And
play covered by number 18.
The tackle made by Ben Kenkel, and giving the ball up on downs is Holmes. That's the second time in this game they've had to give the ball up on downs where they fumbled the ball on 4th down. So kind of frustrating that just can't even get the play off. But for Peet right now, they're really in good shape. Got a 16-point lead and 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Jaden Kimbrough back in at quarterback. Kenkel is the center. Roman Tiber staying in at running back. He'll get the handoff, and Trey Ryder all over him. Drops him for a big loss in the backfield. Ryder was trying to rip the ball out of his hands, but holding on to it was Roman Tiber. 2:48 remaining. Peet with the football, ahead 16-0. In a hard-fought defensive game. And Peet trying to finish off a perfect season with a victory here at Holmes Junior High. They take their time as they line up, taking a lot of time here. Kimbrough gets the snap, and they'll run with Selimonovic, and he'll go around the right end for little yardage for his trip up. Penalty flag is down,
on the carry.
and I think Remmert got the tackle,
by
number 3.
Will Remmert. There is a flag in the play.
It's going to be against Peet. It's declined. It's 2:13 shows on the clock here. Big crowd here to watch this game to decide the Metro Championship between Peet and Holmes. Mark Simpson with you. Denny Bowman, Mike Menon working hard. Doing our great camera work here. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here. Kind of fun to cover the younger players. Kind of give them the spotlight. Why not? This is for the Metro Championship. And a chance for Peet to go unbeaten. They break from the huddle, facing a 3rd down and 15. Clock rolling, 1:43 remaining. Kimbrough. Give it to Selimonovic. He is stopped immediately. 4th down coming up.
Made by number 51, Camden Rowe.
So you see some good players here that next year, remember, both these teams will be one unit.
4th and 15.
There'll be a lot of talent as a freshman team. Holmes will use their final timeout. We'll take a break as well. This is Tiger Football on Cedar Falls Community Television. It's a 4th down and 15. Flag flies, and throwing the ball is Kimbrough. It's intercepted, but they had already waved the play dead. Legal procedure against Peet. 1:28 to go, and I think now Peet may use a timeout. Their coach, John Yoakum, out onto the field. And I've not seen a timeout called. Coach Yoakum like a basketball coach out on the court, is directing his players. And now he moonwalks off the field, and now we're minute 28 to go. Trying to eat up time here off the clock. Peet in the punt. They blocked one punt earlier. They get this off, and it takes a great Peet roll. Now, picking up the ball, but going to his knees, trying to pick it up, was Footman. Footman trying to make a return, but when he went down to scoop up the football, his knee touched the ground. And once that happens, the ball is ruled dead. So the ball is spotted at the 34. Just a minute 19 to go. And now Holmes is out of timeouts. So again, they need 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions just to tie the game. So Holmes trying to pull a rabbit out of their hat here. Euban, quarterback today. Back to pass, looking left, airs it out, hangs in the air, and broken up. He was trying to find.
Euban's pass broken up by number 23, Jacob Krantz.
I'm trying to read the number, and Carter was the intended receiver, broken up. Now we're down to just a minute and 12 seconds to go. Going for the big play on first down was Holmes. They're kind of in desperation mode. You can't blame them. They'll have wind up to the left, Sam Phillips. Remmert will be split wide to the right. Under center. Euban rolling out to his right. He's looking for Remmert near the sidelines, but overthrows him and incomplete.
Euban's pass intended for number 3.
Euban showing a little bit of rust. Remember, he got hurt earlier in the year. He's just coming back after
brings up 3rd and 10.
He had to come in and replace Leighton Wolf, who broke his thumb. Wolf took over after Euban got hurt earlier in the year. So now it's a 3rd down and 10 with a minute and 7 seconds remaining. Holmes breaks from the huddle. Peet, they know that Holmes going to be throwing. They're going to be sending everybody, it looks like. And they're going to keep the ball on the ground, but nowhere to go. And Footman is going to be dropped for a big loss.
Footman on the carry.
And for Peet making the tackle, I think that's Cooper Erickson, number 55. Oh, we got a hurt player, though, for Peet here late in the ball game. Somebody's down.
Loss on the play.
And grabbing their left ankle. So injury for Peet here with just 54.4 seconds to go in the game. Trainer is out to look at the injured player. Let's take a break. This is Tiger Football on Cedar Falls Community Television.
4th and 16.
Landon Backstrom was shaken up.
29-yard line.
I think it looked like cramps as he got stretched out and jogged off the field on his own power pretty briskly, so I don't think it's anything seriously. He's standing near the coaches on the far side of the field. Now it's a 4th down and 16. Holmes needs a miracle. Back to pass. Euban throws it. Caught by Remmert. Remmert trying to shed a couple tacklers and will be short of the first down by about 3 yards. And taking over on downs. That was 4th down, wasn't it? And it'll be Peet taking over with 37 seconds remaining. Well, they complete the pass. They needed 16, they got 13. And Peet now can just go into victory formation. And they're gonna come away with the win here at Holmes and cap off a perfect year. So, just have to snap the ball once, and that game should be over. Both touchdowns coming in the second quarter of this game. Jaden Kimbrough finding Gavin Jewell on a 21-yard touchdown reception. Then right before the end of the first half, it was Kimbrough finding Josh Grady on a 10-yard reception. Both times they converted the 2-point conversion. And going to one knee is Peet quarterback Jaden Kimbrough. Players clapping their hands on the Peet sidelines, and everybody here in the stands clapping their hands as it's over, as Peet doesn't have to snap the ball anymore, and they are going to come away with the victory, 16 to nothing. So it's a sweet 16 for Peet as they blank their rivals Holmes here in this Metro title game. Holmes finishes the year at 4-2, and for Peet, 6-0. Congratulations to them as they close out the year victorious against their big rival here at Holmes Junior High football field. Fun game to watch. Again, our thanks to our talented Cedar Falls Community Television crew. I'm Mark Simpson. Hope you enjoyed our coverage of 8th grade football. And this has been Tiger Football on Cedar Falls Community Television.
Let's go!